woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. Welcome to a Sunday morning Virch service. I hope you're enjoying these Virches, and I got to tell you, it's coming to an end. So enjoy each and every one. And we got some special guests that are going to be with us before everything is over. So some special guest speakers coming up. I'll tell you one of them. You may know her. She's a good friend of ours. Reverend Maureen Hoyt, she's going to come and do a guest speaking with us. So just letting you know. So we got some more surprises as Virch begins to wind down because we're going to return back to church. But I think we'll still call it Virch because we're still going to be virtual even though we're going to be back in our own space. That's kind of exciting. You know what else is exciting? How our community comes together on a regular basis to support one another. And each month we recognize a group or an individual who has exhibited everything that is necessary to really bring our vision and our mission statement to life, to be that community that's loving and authentic and inclusive, to be that community that celebrates God in all ways, including taking care of each other as we help to take care of the world. And this month, as we look at the Volunteer of the Month for commitment to outstanding service for our community, we celebrate the CSL Simi Valley Sacred Sisters. Yeah, the sisters have been out there taking care of our community, showing up wherever is needed, coming by, bringing food, bringing their hearts, bringing their consciousness in ways that just love us up tremendously. And we want to love you up as our Volunteers of the Month. Thank you so much, led by Jan Daly. I can't name all the sisters in the group because we'd be here till the end of the service, but they're just grateful to how you show up, how you really show up. Now, challenge out for the Giants. You're going to have to hum some to catch up to the sisters, my brothers, because that's how it's working. Also, what works for us is to center ourselves in prayer. I like to start the service off that way. I like to start off all our activities that way. And we're going to do it today with the help of my beloved Reverend Johanna Van Gelder, who brings us our opening treatment.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. I'm so glad to be here with you. And let's bless this beautiful service this morning together. So let's take a deep breath. And with that, I feel such gratitude knowing that the divine consciousness from which all has come is breathing me. Divine consciousness is breathing each and every person in this service, each and every person who's a part of Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, each and every person who attends this service at any time in the future. Knowing that that breath that is breathing us and that is breathing the service itself is pure love, is health, is well-being, is lavish abundance, is all-knowing, is all-powerful. So therefore, I know that this service and everybody in it is blessed, is perfect, and is inspiring. And for this, I'm grateful, and I let it be. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Johanna. Beautiful prayer, settling in. feeling the joy of this community and the blessing that we are to each other and that we get to be to the world by living our individuality, our individual expressions of the divine in the most pure and perfect way. And we'll talk more about that when we get around to the talk today. But there's so much excitement today. I got the Sacred Sisters as the Volunteers of the Month, a challenge out to the Giants to step it up a little bit, although I know you guys, I mean, I'm just really being harsh because you step it up. You're beautiful under the leadership of Dale Aarons. Reverend Johanna with our prayer treatment. But here's the one. It's Band Day, the Soul Purpose Band Day. All the music today is going to be featured by our band, and we did a great backyard recording a concert for ourselves that we are now going to share with you today. And so get ready. Going to be a lot of music, a little more than we normally have, but you know what? We don't have Band Day that often. So we thought we'd put all the music out there that we could possibly squeeze into one service. So stand by, get ready. But first, let's just meet the band.
Hi, everybody. Sherry Deeds here, music director of the Soul Purpose Band at Simi Valley. And we are so excited that this is our band Sunday. And so I just wanted to say hi. Everybody say hi.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
Hey, yeah.
What's going on? We miss each other and we miss you. Anyway, I was hoping that I would like to introduce the band around. So we're going to start with Steve.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Fowler. It's really great to see everybody. I can't wait to actually be face-to-face in person. And just in case you forgot or are wondering, which you're probably not, I'm the guitar picker in the band.
Hi, I'm Lane Taylor. I help out on background vocals. I am just one of the L's. We're so glad to be featured today, and we can't wait to see you again in person soon.
Hi, I'm Gary Mellor, and I am looking forward to keeping my saxophone full of hot air so that you guys can enjoy us playing.
Hi, I'm John Bellis. I play the bass in the band, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone when we get together again.
Hi, I'm Lynn Maxon, and I'm one of the other L's in background vocals, and so excited to see you all again.
Hi, I'm Saul Latzer. I'm the drummer in the band, and I hope you've all been doing well. I look forward to seeing you and kicking it again with this great band.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We can't wait to see you and enjoy our music today.
We intend to enjoy your music. That was fun. And stand by at the end of the service because there may be a little surprise after the last tune to see behind the scenes with the band in the box doing their Brady Bunch thing, looking at each other. Ah, yes, indeed. Okay, so let's continue on, and we're going to move into one of our regular features of the service, which is the gap meditation. But just before the gap, it's a wonderful song that the band puts together that we're going to let them play. And listen to this song. Allow it to dive into your body. Just feel. You know, music has this way of touching us, as we know. You know, it's the vibration of the sound. Everything is vibration. You and I are vibrating. Our very being is vibrating. We say it all the time. That person's got great vibes. Well, this music coming up has great vibes for settling you in to preparation for the gap. So we'll go right out of this tune into the gap meditation. I will see you on the other side. Here now, Sherry Deeds, the Soul Purpose Band, and a beautiful tune called Ashe. Ashe.
1, 2, 3. Ashe, Ashe, my life is a good life. Ashe, Ashe, my life is good. Hallelujah. Ashe, my
Now we will be meditating. We actually will be meditating with a video of the sunset. So what I would like you to do is take a deep breath in and then let it all out. And while you watch the video of the sunset, just relax into the peace of the sunset. And keep your breath going, of course, and relax into the peaceful feeling in your breath. Okay, let's meditate. And take another deep breath. And come out of meditation very gently. And take the feeling of this peaceful feeling in meditation with you throughout the service and throughout the day.
Thank you, Johanna. It was sweet. You know, we shortened the gap for a minute, and I'm feeling like a minute seems like, whew. Maybe we might need to go back to 3, even though it's in virtual. I know you're in your homes, and in your homes you can meditate as long as you want, but it feels like maybe we need a little more time. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it goes next week. So, more news about Band Day. Yes, Band Day, which brings us... Yeah, well, that's not a good pun. But it sounds like I said Band-Aid, doesn't it? Band-Aid, 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 Band-Aid. It does bring us aid to hear a great band. Did you know that in 2010 is when the CSL Simi Valley Singers began, when we began our choir, which has now grown to the Inspire Choir. So it's been 11 years here at the 1st of May, the beginning of May, marks 11 years since we reached into the community and tapped into the talented music and the talented singers that we have. And the L's are just a part of the Inspire Choir. And when we get back together, we'll be putting the Inspire Choir back together somehow. I wonder, can Angela Carol Brown direct the choir from Kansas City? Because our choir director moved away from us. We'll work that out later. But I do want to acknowledge that this is an anniversary for the talent within our community being displayed in front of the community for the benefit of the community. So today, Band Day has a special extra significance in it. It's anniversary celebration day as well. Yeah. Now, as we move into today's talk, how many of you heard of the show Godspell 73? Little musical about the parables in the book of Matthew, kind of done Jesus meets vaudeville in the streets of New York. It's a crazy little ditty, and it's a wonderful film. It's very fun. It's very 70s, totally hippie 70s all the way. But the music that came out of it was fantastic. And one song in particular has touched me, has touched our music director, and has affected our band such that they decided to perform it for us today. And the song is Day by Day.
Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord. day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. See thee more clearly. Day by day. Love thee more dearly. Day by day. Follow thee more dearly. Day by day. Day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, day by day. Love thee more dearly, day by day. Follow thee more dearly, day by day, by day, by day, by day.
Day by day. Oh, there's something so light and full and also deep and present in that song. Day by day. So I took the idea from that song and I'm using that to inspire today's talk. Right now, I'm inspired to hydrate this scratchy throat of mine. Stand by. Okay. So, today's talk. These three things, you heard about them in the song, Day by Day. See thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly. Three powerful concepts. Three is such a powerful number. I mean, think about it. The three-legged stool, the tripod. It's hard to shake it. The triangle. It's hard to move it. And in Science of Mind, we study the triune nature of the universe. It's so much okay, a good story has three parts, beginning, middle, and end. You know, in our studies, we understand the beginning, the middle, and the end. The beginning, the seed, the middle, the soil, the end, the plant, spirit, body, and soul, love, law, and form. Priest, rabbi, and imam. No, wait, that's a joke. Sorry. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. The triune nature of the universe. The threeness that takes place in this thing called life. This thing called life. Life is such a sweet adventure, such a great adventure. And when we live that adventure using the power of three in a day-by-day mode, we are uplifted and supported in wonderful and incredible ways. That's what today's about. It's about these three things and how they work in our life. How these little ideas that were taken out of that fun little piece, Godspell. In fact, you know, maybe that's something that we could do as a video when we get back together in the sanctuary. We could download it and watch it together and see. It's really fun. And talk about the adventure. The adventure. And adventure really is an interesting word. I always love the etymology of words. When you break down adventure in its purest sense, it really means to arrive. So if life is an adventure, which it's often been said, then life is to arrive. To arrive where? To arrive into our greater yet to be. And how do we get there? That's the message of the song. That's these three things. We get there by seeing thee, the divine, seeing thee more clearly, by loving thee more dearly, and by following thee more nearly, staying closer to the Word, being intimate to the divine, and seeing a clear pathway, breaking away from all those things that are blocking our full view. It's like Rumi says, what do you find? How do you find love? You separate everything that gets you away from love, and there is love next. It's the Matthew Fox via negativa. Separate, 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 take away, take away, take away, and what you're left with is the divine. Thee is the magnificence of spirit. See the magnificence of spirit more clearly. Love the magnificence of the divine more dearly, and follow that magnificence with every aspect of your being. In the book called Sabbath by Wayne Muller, he has a wonderful concept I want to share with you. And he says that we cannot fully comprehend the sweet magnificence of God in a purely intellectual way. We feel the tangible presence of spirit and creation directly with our bodies. Directly with our bodies. Now, if we're going to feel that directly with our bodies, the first thing we need to do is we need to see it more clearly so that we can love it more dearly, so that we can love it more intimately. And this is a call that comes to us from the ancient writings that they tell us in the most really intense sort of ways how we are to have an intimate relationship. You know, Jesus went to weddings, and his metaphors were about bridegrooms and the groom, and this idea of a marriage. Nuns marry, they marry the divine. And if you look at the Older Testament, the Hebrew Bible, there's a book in there called the Song of Solomon. Talk about intimate with the divine. The Song of Solomon should be rated MA17 for spiritually mature, for mature audiences, for spiritually mature audiences, because it's not about what it appears to be about. It's about this idea of loving thee more dearly so as I can see thee more clearly. Listen to these words from Solomon. Just get ready. And remember, we're talking about loving spirit, but they use something around our own being, around our own physicality, around our own body, to deal directly with creation, to feel the touch. Listen to this from Solomon. It's verse 7, chapter 9, or chapter 7, verse 9. It says, I want to just breathe into this. Let me kiss you with the kisses of my lips, for your mouth is sweeter than wine. Oh, may your breast be the clusters of the vine, and the scent of your breath like apples, and your kisses like the best wine that goes down smoothly, gliding over the lips and teeth. Whew, I told you, MA17 for spiritually mature audiences only. And it's telling us to love thee more intimately. That's what dearly is. When you're dear to someone, you're intimate with that person. To love spirit in an intimate way. You know, we this is also from Wayne Muller. It says that we use the phrase to know in a biblical sense as a euphemism for making love, because when we truly make love, we open our bodies and heart and feel the essence of our beloved in a profoundly intimate way. We are to know God in a biblical sense, the way we say making love in a biblical sense. We are to have a heartfelt relationship with the divine. We are to know that everywhere we stand and walk, we are on holy ground. When Moses was before the burning bush and it said, take off your shoes, it was not a warning that something bad's going to happen if you take off your shoes. No, it was an invitation to get intimate with the divine. It was an invitation to remove, I'm going to do it right now, take off your shoes, remove your shoes, remove what is foreign from the body so that you can, what separates me from creation, so that I, discarding the deadness and be alive. Put your feet, when you put your feet in the sand at the beach, there's that moment, right? You go to the beach, you got your flip-flops on, right? And you get down to the water and you kick your flip-flop off, and what do? Your toes go, and you just get one with the sand. That's what Moses was being told to do. Get one with God. Be intimate with it, you see? And once we see, and once we are prepared. See, once we get intimate with the divine, once we are seeing clearly, we've separated those belief systems that are blocking us from the divine view, and we've recognized a heartfelt connection. We can feel the presence. And then we have prepared ourselves for the third thing, to follow thee more nearly. You see, to follow thee more nearly requires that we touch spirit. Yes, we can only touch spirit conceptually in our brains, but because spirit is all that is created, when we do touch the beach, when we reach out, you see, we know that we know what it's like to be a year with no touch. We've had it. You know, when we touch our beloveds, we touch our partners, we touch our family, you know, but we bump, we fist bump, we elbow bump, but the hug, the true touch, we know that nothing survives without physical contact, and that includes our relationship with the divine. That's why we're supposed to get out of nature. That's why we're supposed to plant into the soil. Even the plant itself must touch the soil. The fish must touch the sea. You know, they have shown, surveys have shown that if you take a preemie infant and you caress it and you hold that little child, it heals. It gets better, you know. And when we pray, what do? When we gather around at the top of the sanctuary before the service, what do? First thing, we hold hands. This touching, it brings us to the place where we can follow more nearly. You know, one of my favorite artists is writing authors and artist, because she's also an artist, and that is Sarah Blondin. And she's got this book called Heart-Minded. And in it, she talks about her son, who sometimes has a little issue with his energies. You know, he sometimes gets a little aggressive, he gets a little sad, he gets a little fretty, and he wants to close in and shut himself off from everything. And in those moments, what does she do? She takes him and she stretches him out. She unwraps his arms and has him put him down by his side. And she strokes his chest and strokes his face and touches him until he opens up, remembers who he is and where he is, and that he's loved and that he's safe. Touch helps us to feel safe. When we touch the divine, how much safer can we possibly be? Then we are prepared. This is why it was just enough. It was just enough for the woman to touch the hem of his garment. And that connection was so severe that he looked back. You know what I'm talking about, the great wayshower Jesus. He looked back and said, who is this that has touched thee? And she was healed at that moment from simply the touch. But not just a simple touch, a clear touch, a conscious touch that came from a love and an expectation to follow the truth. See? So we can't stop there. We can't stop there. We got to keep going. It says... This is from the Science of Mind Daily Guides in the month of April. Karen Wiley wrote this. Says, whenever you think you've arrived spiritually, you are now being asked to go to the next level of your understanding, to the next level of your love of self and your love of all. See, once we begin this journey of the three things, once we have seen clearly and start to love it as deep as we can and begin to follow these teachings very closely, now we are being asked something more. There's always going to be something more because the universe is always evolving into something more. That's why we call it the greater yet to be. That's why we call it the greater yet to be. Because there is something more calling us forth. And that calling forth is for us to participate, because this is a participatory universe we are in. Nothing happens by itself. It is all interdependent, as Thich Nhat Hanh says. It is interrelated, as Brian Swim says. The universe depends upon us as we depend upon it. That's why we are asked to follow more nearly. And we're asked to do so that when we're asked to do so, we begin to understand that we must align with this thee, this greater thee. We must become one with this greater thee. We must become a part of this greater thee. Then we're ready for the adventure. The adventure. We're ready for the arrival. And arrival where? Into oneness. into oneness that appears as something called two-ness. But there's no two-ness. There's only the one. You see, so these three things are guiding us and leading us back to the thing from which we came. This journey, this adventure is really to go full circle 360. It's all about the completion, the turnaround that we get to do, you see. That's what this is all about. And you think about it, things seem separate, but they're always together. They're always together. Was reading the Tao last week for the for Oneness at One, and one of the verses we read was about how the wheel and the spokes are of no use without the hub. That you can build a structure, but until you cut a door and a windows in it, it's not a home. You can make a jar, but it's the inside that makes the jar functional. So it looks like a jar, but also it has a function because there's something inside. The inside and the outside are part of the one, always, always. And we are that way too. We are spirit and we're physical. So there's this nothingness inside of us that is a great somethingness contained within us. And so we must follow this dearly. We must read, and I mean this in a mental way, but also in a physical way. We must read the books of God. So I read a lot of the books of God, as you know, and I get to share some of those books to you. But there are two books of God that you don't even have to look on a shelf for. One is nature, creation itself. Everywhere we look, the manifest universe is a book of God that we get to read, that provides signs and guidance that takes us where we want to go, right? And the second book is sometimes a little harder to access. But if we follow the three things, if we begin to see clearly, love dearly, and follow nearly, we'll find it lead us to the second book, and that's the book in our hearts. The book in our hearts. A great Sufi sheikh talked about that. He says, this is Musafa Effendi, says, God placed a divine book in our heart. Read your book. Look deeply within to understand your inner nature. To understand your inner nature. And when you want to find it, you sit with the rhythm of life. You watch the moon waning and waxing. Sit by the beach and watch the waves in and out. You watch the breeze come and go. Just this week, I was sitting with a friend in prayer over the phone, and he was marveling at the sound of the birds. And I was sharing about a reading I'd seen earlier in the week where a gentleman went out into the woods to be there, stayed up, woke up very, very early. He wanted to be there at the moment that the birds began to sing. There's this moment in the morning where the birds begin to sing. So he's there in the woods, and just prior to the moment that the birds began to sing, he was so in tuned, he had his shoes off, so to speak. There was no foreign presence between him and the divine. And at that very moment, he felt as if the entire world had inhaled. And on the exhale, the birds began to sing. And this week in prayer with my friend, I told him that story. And we began the prayer with a breath. I said, let's take a breath. And we took an in-breath. And as we exhaled, the birds in the backyard began to sing. It was such an amazing moment. Because we were in the rhythm of life in that moment. And when we can tune into the rhythm of life, we all have them. We have our sleep rhythms, we have our work rhythms, we have our creation rhythms. There's so many rhythms to life. The rhythm of that tell the birds to go north and to come south. But when we can tune into the rhythm of our hearts and take time to remember who we are and whose we are, we have been prepared by the three things to do something magnificent. And the magnificence is not shake and shatter the world. I'm talking about the magnificence of a serene and peaceful day. The magnificence of feeling full and complete, of truly experiencing what it means to feel whole, perfect, and complete. See? And when you're there, when I'm there, when we're there. We are present to becoming, and the thing that is always becoming is the future. You see? So our daily actions, our daily times of checking in, of being present to the Spirit, being present to life, checking out our rhythms, feeling our heart, touching our sensations, all of these daily actions place us on this cutting edge of evolution. But then something in our brain puts us back on the seesaw of doubt and curiosity and caution. But that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be doubtful. It's okay to be cautious as long as we remain curious and continue to do the three things. Continue to see, to love, and to follow the divine Spirit. Living these three things, we constantly hear an urge. And that urge is the call to adventure. That urge is the call to arrive. Dr. Holmes talks about the urge. He says, there is an inner urge in our minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to widen our experience. This persistent urge is a divine influence, an irresistible force, and constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. Yeah. This call to arrive, this call to follow these three things, it's the greatest thing we get to do. The greatest thing we get to do. To see thee more clearly. To love thee more dearly. To follow thee more nearly. Day by day. And so it is. Let's have our affirmation today from Reverend Johanna.
Today's affirmation is, clearly seeing divine love working in my life, I easily follow its guidance in all my affairs.
Easy, follow its guidance in all my affairs. Did you hear her say that? Say it for yourself right here. I'm going to put it on the screen for you. Say it for yourself right here. Clearly seeing divine love working in my life, I easily follow its guidance in all my affairs. Let's go into our revealing prayer. I call it the revealing prayer because it's all here in spirit. And in this moment, I'm just going to reveal the truth that I know for myself. And then what I know for myself, I know for you. Hear these words in your own mind, in your own voice, as if you're saying them yourselves right here and right now. I know there is one life. That life is God. That life is my life, your life. It is the life that is pervasive throughout the universe itself. It is the universe breathing, expanding, contracting, and expanding even greater. I take that deep breath now, and I know that there is something within me that knows. When the doubt and the curiosity arises, there is a voice within that delivers the answer that says, this is the way to go, and I follow it more nearly. When there is a concern, an ache, a sense of lack or limitation, I see clearly that there is this wisdom available to me, and I take advantage of that wisdom, and I allow it to flow into the heart book of my own reading, of my own consciousness, and I read the wisdom within there, and then I take the steps to move into a space that allows me to feel the presence in my life. And what I know is happening for me in delivering the good into my life is delivering the good into each and every one of your lives here and now in this same exact manner. For we are a divine expression, fully capable and fully accessing all the good that is available for our most joyous experience of life, bringing unexpected pleasures and treasures into every single day. I affirm this good for each and every one of us by saying thank you, lovingly releasing this prayer, and so it is. You know, the last step in treatment is the release step. Such a small thing. It just says, and so it is. Well, the full formal release is I release these words to the law of mind, knowing it is done, and so it is. That's the most formal way of a release. But it basically you could just say, and so it is. And here's what's happening there. You see, I am letting this go because I know that there is a divine presence that is hearing me, that I'm a part of, that I'm speaking through and as a vessel for, that is bringing this thing happening. And this whole thing about aligning to it, seeing it, feeling it, and loving it, aligning with it, puts me in this place where I don't have to do any worrying. That's why I can just release it and let it go. And that whole sentiment is captured in this next song by our Soul Purpose Band. And so I want to bring to you, I release.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God.
They're having some fun. That was a lovely time. I'm only here for God. I'm only here for you. I love doing this for you, bringing the service to you in any way that we can. If I just had a street corner megaphone, I'd still be out there talking to you every Sunday. And just know that that's part of what we do. That's part of how I give to the service and give to the community. This is also, this is also that time when we do our financial giving. Our pledge drive is over. It ended on the 30th. So if you missed it, that's okay. You can still call and make your pledge, but we're officially done, and we'll be reporting the results of the pledge in the next couple of weeks. Lane's going, we are? Yeah, I just put it out there. We should probably tell everybody how it turned out. Okay, so here's how we can give your gift if you have a gift that you'd like to give for today. Here's the way it works. We have these ways for you to support us, and that is to go to our website, cslcme.org/donating, or you can use our really fancy fun text the word give to 805-600-5677. And if you want to talk to somebody in the office, we love that too. You can call the office at 805-527-0870. Now, before we go into doing our prayer of affirmation, we're going to finish the prayer of affirmation, go right into a song, and then come out of the song. Let's see, I'm looking at my format here, because I changed up a little bit to get all this music in. So we're going to come right out of it, go into a song, and then go into the blessing. And I'll come back after the blessing. But what I want to bring to you is the idea that when we practice our giving, we are practicing the law of circulation. And the law of circulation completes a process, a cycle. And that cycle is the whole thing. So in many ways, when we do our giving, when we say thank you in this way, we are practicing the holiness of wholeness. And that's why the song that follows is coming after we do our affirmation of good. Here it is right now. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley. Now, divine love is victorious.
Holy,
And right now, with great gratitude, I give thanks for the offering that has been given by the members of Center for Spiritual Living Simi Valley, by the friends of Center for Spiritual Living Simi Valley, and by any participant who felt touched by this service and what the center stands for, knowing that it is divine consciousness flowing into the center as the offering, and that as it is dispersed, divine consciousness will bless each and every person it comes in contact with and each and every situation it comes in contact with. And I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Johanna. Okay, let's keep moving through. And a couple quick announcements. We will be having a Virch service, Après Virch today. I'll post that during the upcoming announcements, and those announcements are coming for you now. Here's what's happening this week at CSL Simi Valley. Yes. Thank you, Sherry, for that background music that goes with announcements now. That is a song called Gratitude. And the backstory on that is really interesting. There was when she was over at Westlake, where we got her from Westlake. She was there years ago. And apparently, as I hear the story, a gentleman kind of gifted her with a keyboard. Gifted the center with a keyboard, and she was the music director, so really keyboard came to her, and she got the keyboard, opened it up, and was filling with such gratitude over it that she sat down and began to play. And what came out was that song you heard in the background of the announcements, and the song is actually called Gratitude. So if you hear the announcements and you feel just this serene peace and this joy and this gratitude, that's why, because the song is Gratitude. And speaking of that, I want to speak some words of gratitude for our band and the great music that they put together for us today, for Jim and Cheryl Collins for allowing us to record in their backyard, for John stepping out from behind the bass to get into the technical side and doing the great mix for our band day music. Want to celebrate Reverend Johanna for bringing us the prayers and stepping in to take care of that and do Practitioner of the Day. For all of you for being here, for your active comments. There's so much going on here. Yeah, the salon coming up this week. That's great. Special prayers out for Joyce and your family. Absolutely much love to you. Let me scroll through here really quickly. I'm just jamming. Legia, did you catch it? No. It's see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly. 1, 2, 3. There they are for you. 1, 2, 3 style. Okay. What else is happening here? I don't know. That's a long the quote on the screen that touched me so deeply. Ocean's energy flowing in and out and releasing, flowing in and out. Oh, yeah. Going to the beach and just watching the surf coming back and forth. Looking forward to coming back together. Absolutely. The poetry is wonderful. Barry White could have sung that. You must be talking about the Solomon lyrics. Yeah, those are definitely Barry White kind of lyrics, aren't they? So just some of your great comments, and thank you so much for the active conversation. And I don't know how we're going to figure out how to bring that into the service without having so much interruption. But we'll figure out how to continue to do commenting too, if that serves everyone's purpose, okay? All right. So, again, Opry Virch, I believe it has been posted for you, so you can see that. Yep, it's over there on the screen. I see it right now. Very good. See you in about 10 minutes for that. And we have one final song from the band. And I know some of you, with this last song, you kind of start clicking off or something. Stick around to the very end. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Here's our closing benediction. It says, I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. And here's the band.
Love be with you. Peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. The truth come through you, make good flow to you, yet joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, oh, all together hand in hand, see the light and take a stand, and we are changing a whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, may good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Oh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Oh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Oh,
Okay, let's give a dress rehearsal. So I'll start. Hi, everybody. Sherry Deeds here, music director of the CSL Soul Purpose Band. And we're so happy to be here for our band Sunday. Anyway, hi, everybody. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Great to see all you.
Great to see you all. Also, I want you guys to say you're the L's. Remember, you're the L's. So don't forget that part.
Sure.
So we can have L1 and L2, just like thing 1 and thing 2?
Yeah, sure. Anybody else had it? Okay, we're ready?
Lane, wait, hold on. Lane, you look beautiful.
Everybody looks beautiful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everybody does. But I'm just saying.
And your hair, Gary's hair is as long as yours.
I know, right?
Almost as long
Not
as
quite.
Mine.
I get mine cut.
Look at, we all do our thing. Okay. Are you ready? Are we all ready?
I think so.
Saul,
Sure.
fluff your hair. Come
I
on,
don't want
Saul,
to talk
fluff
about
it.
hair.
Just fluff it, just for fun. Everybody, okay, even John's got a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say we're starting, then we'll be at 3 counts silent, and then I'm gonna start. Perfect. That was perfect. One take band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh-wee.
Think about it. Think about the last place you saw it.
There's other people working.
I hear. I'm going, who's talking?
I have to go back.
And the dogs.
All right, we'll let you go. We'll let you go.
Dogs
Go
and
have
chickens
fun.
and
Good
goats.
luck with the event. See everybody virtually on Sunday. Great job. We're still, are we still recording? Yeah, this whole thing's been recorded.